Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. Very changeable weather today. It's been raining for most of the afternoon. You can see that dense black cloud over there, but it seems to have stopped by the time I got outside. Even some sun over there has done a good job, at least, of clearing the heath off. Hardly anyone around, which is good. It's the way I like it. It's practically deserted. What a treat for a Saturday evening in August. Vosne Romanée today, and a producer I have featured before. This is Confuron Gindre, probably mispronouncing that. I bought this from Haynes, Hansen and Clark. Thank you to a member of staff at aforementioned wine merchant who got in touch after a recent video and said that they thought they had some vintages of the sort of range that I might be interested in. I think I was bemoaning the fact that it's very hard in bricks and mortar type shops in London now to buy anything earlier than 2020, and lo and behold, several Vosne Romanées and or Gevrey Chambertins in that 2018 to 2019 range, and in the sort of price that I'm prepared to pay for those villagers, which is great. It's actually from a named vineyard. This is Les Hautes Mazieres. I'm probably butchering that. Perhaps I can show you some on-screen graphics, a map of Vosne Romanée. I think it's just beyond the northern extent of the Vosne Romanée commune, the village boundary of Vosne Romanée. But one of the odd quirks of Burgundy is that some villages actually don't have appellations of their own. Flagey-Echezeaux, which is the neighbouring village to Vosne Romanée, there is no village level appellation for Flagey-Echezeaux. So if your vineyard happens to fall within that commune, you can label it as Vosne Romanée. Those are the rules, I didn't make them up. The southern border of Flagey-Echezeaux and Vosne Romanée, around there is this vineyard called Les Hautes Mazieres, and there's also a basse Mazière, so haute is high and basse is low. It's a 2018 vintage. We should look at the colour first. As always, apologies for the subpar stemware. Nice sort of rubyish colour. It's quite a nice fruit character. The word that's coming to mind is sort of streamlined. I'm not quite sure what I'm trying to say with that. Well, first of all, there's definitely some floral character there before I struggle to pin down what exactly that fruit character is. Subtle hint of violet, pretty little floral edges to that. And then fruit-wise, difficult to pin down. It's slightly plummy, but light and delicate. And there's definitely some kind of red berry and or stone fruit there. It's clearly in that sort of area. Maybe something like red currants there, but without that kind of severity and bitterness. It's certainly not going cranberry. Yeah, red berries, nice, sort of nicely concentrated nose. Like I say, sort of something interestingly kind of clean and streamlined about it. I'm not exactly sure what I'm getting at there, but sometimes it is hard to put these sensations into words. So on the palate, quite powerful. Surprising amount of sort of intensity to that. And I'm straight away noticing fine grain, slightly above fine grain, sort of medium grain tannins, quite a sort of peppery, tannic finish there. And yet somehow there is also a kind of smoothness, a silkiness to it. Nice mouthfeel, a little bit hot on the tannin, I would say for me. But again, it's nicely concentrated, it's nicely intense. There's a sort of purity of the fruit there that I like, and a roundedness to it, and then, yeah, really quite a lot of tannin. Almost sort of hints of green pepper, that kind of thing. On the HH&C website, Haynes, Hansen and Clark website, it does mention that the son of the family who own this particular domain is in charge of vinification for this particular plot, and uses a higher percentage of whole bunch fermentation than is the norm for the rest of the domain. Usually about 25%, this goes up to 40%. So, you know, I understand that is probably going to make it a bit more tannic. Yeah, maybe this will soften if it's initially a little bit too tannic. Then with a bit of airing and a bit of swilling around, that can calm down a bit. I think that aside, I'm actually quite enjoying it. I like the fruit character. I like those floral notes, I like the mouthfeel. Aside from the tannins, currently just finding it a little bit too tannic for my taste. in the interest of trying to vary the shots of it so it's not always just pointing at my big fat face. Noticing some really nice minerality now in the wine. It does have quite a nice texture to it if I just try and set those tannins aside, and that's kind of interestingly intermingled with the tannins as well. They're sort of peppery, slightly mineral, possibly a tiny bit saline, and also a bit tannic. Interesting mixture of almost textures there really rather than flavours. Bit of a sunset. Right, let's reassess this after giving it a little bit of air. Swilling. That is a really appealing nose actually. It's got a sort of clean, pure sort of plumminess to it. I mean, there's probably some black cherry as always, other berry fruits in there, and a little bit of a floral backdrop as well. Nice richness, intensity, concentration, quite powerful as I said on the palate. Really quite good. The tannins are softening a little bit now, and or I'm getting acclimatized to them, and I really like those kind of mineral notes, and that adds to this sort of cleanliness of it. It's difficult to express. Pretty good. I think it would probably be really good in a year or two from now when those tannins have had a chance to soften a bit more. And as always with slightly tannic wines, it probably would be better with food. Pretty happy with that all in all. But, also pretty happy about having a nice sky for a change. Cheers.